In section 1.1, we're going to be dealing with several smaller concepts, all having to do with the real numbers. The first one is the number line. A straight line across the page with arrows at either end indicating that it goes forever in both directions. And the little tick marks along the number line are just indications of where you might see some numbers. So for example, it's pretty conventional to put the number 0 in the middle of the number line and then number each of the tick marks going to the right of that one number higher, one integer higher, and in the opposite direction, one integer lower. If you're not sure about negative numbers, that would be a good thing to review before starting anything else in this course. We talk about the numbers to the right of 0 being positive numbers, and we can designate that with a plus, and the numbers to the left of 0 as being negative numbers. We can designate those with a minus. Zero itself does not have a sign. It's neither positive nor negative. Notice that we can say that the distance between any two numbers on the number line is 1. In other words, the distance from 1 to 2 is 1. The distance from 4 to 5 is 1. The distance from -4 to -3 is 1, and so on. Equally, the distance between -1 and -2 is also 1, even though I might think of going in the opposite direction. The distance between 4 and 3 is also 1. That'll come into play here in a little while. There are also numbers in between each of the numbers on the number line. For example, although I haven't got it labeled here, you can kind of imagine that right between 0 and 1 might be the number 1/2. And between 2 and 3, exactly halfway between them, is the number 2.5. We're going to have a talk about fractions in a little while, but that'll do for now. In addition to that, between 0 and 1 is the number 1/2, but there's also the number 3/4 and the number 1/4 and the number 1/3 and so on. In fact, there's an infinite number of fractions between 0 and 1 and between any two numbers on the number line. Oftentimes you'll see, in addition to the tick marks that represent the numbers 1, 2, 3, and so on, you'll see a dot on the number line. And that means that I'm trying to indicate that I want to specify that of all the numbers that are available to me, the number 2 is the one of interest. If I wanted to indicate that the number 1/3 was the number I was concentrating on or using for something, or trying to indicate the value 1/3, I would put a dot approximately 1/3 of the way between 0 and 1. Whenever you're working with a number line, the placement of values on the number line is necessarily somewhat approximate. The pen or pencil that you're using, the quality of the paper, even how close together the tick marks are on the number line. Those things all have play a role, if you will, in how accurate you can be. Ideally, you should be as accurate as you can, but we understand that there are some limitations. Okay, now let's zoom in a little bit. I'd like to look specifically at the piece of the number line between the numbers 0 and 1. Between 0 and 1, I can find the halfway mark is about here, and that's going to be a half. Halfway between 0 and a half, half of a half is a quarter. And halfway between 1/2 and 1 is 3/4. Now hopefully this is review for you, but what's important here is to notice that if I cut the number line up, this unit of 0 to 1 up into 4 pieces, there's the first piece, the second piece, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter, then I can label each of the marks here as how many quarters do I have? How many quarters of a number line have I crossed when I go from 0 to this mark here is 1/4. I'm 1/4 of the way to the number 1. Okay, here I'm 3/4 of the way between 0 and 1. And what's interesting about this is that I can go from 0 to here to the halfway mark, and I'm also 2/4 of the way from 0 to 1. What's important about this is a recognition that I can write a fraction two and in fact multiple different ways. For now, let's just acknowledge that I can write the number 1/2 in terms of the number of quarters that it represents. If I continue cutting up my number line, let's cut halfway between 0 and a fourth. That would be a half of a fourth, which is an eighth. Halfway between a fourth and a half is 3/8. Those of you who've done any carpentry work will know these eighths very well. 5/8 and 7/8. There are 8/8 between 0 and 1. And when I mark the eighths on here, I'm talking about how many eighths I've come from 0. Here, from 0 to this first mark here, I've come 1/8. From there to the next mark, I've come 2/8. So another way to write 1/4 is 2/8. Travel another eighth and you've gone 3/8. Another one and you've gone 4/8. So another way to write a half is 4/8. And then 5/8, 6/8, 7/8. And interestingly enough, I can also write the number 1 as 8/8. Before I even started, I hadn't gone any eighths. In fact, I had gone 0/8. So even the endpoints of this interval between 0 and 1 can be written in terms of how many eighths. Let's take a look at the thirds. If I cut the interval between 0 and 1 up into thirds, then from 0 to this mark here is 1/3 of the way to 1, and this one is 2/3 of the way to 1. If I go all the way to 1, I've gone 3/3. Before I started, I hadn't gone any thirds at all. I'd gone 0/3. So 0 can always be written as 0 over some number, and 1 can always be written as a number over itself. That kind of makes sense if you think about it, because what I'm saying here is 3 divided by 3, and 3 divided up into 3 equal parts is 1 part each. It's 1. I'm going to continue and cut these thirds in half. One there, one there. Half of a third is a sixth, or I have 6 pieces between 0 and 1. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to get from 0 to this first mark, now I've gone 1/6. Go another sixth, 2/6, and 2/6 can be written as 1/3, or 1/3 can be written as 2/6. Go another third, and I've come 3/6. But notice that that's halfway between 0 and 1. So another way to write 3/6 is 1/2. Another sixth would be 4/6. Another one would be 5/6. And another one would be 6/6. If I hadn't gone any sixths at all, then I would have gone 0/6. This might seem kind of like overkill, but the big picture takeaway here is I can write a fraction more than one way. That's going to become very important. It's going to come in really handy.